You've all seen cemeteries in towns that are founded in the pioneer era. But did you know that nearly 200 years ago, these cemeteries were inhabited by hordes of cemetery rats? Deep in the earth, these rats lived in huge caves with connecting tunnels throughout the cemetery. When somebody was being buried, the rats could sense the digging from the vibrations, and they would start a new feeder tunnel until they got to that coffin, gnaw through with their razor-sharp teeth to the resting place of that body, then drag it out into their main tunnel, where they would feast on it, consuming it in short order. Josiah Pilcher worked as an undertaker in one of these towns, a greedy undertaker. And oh, what an advantage he had. Before he buried someone, he would steal all of their jewelry. If they had gold teeth or silver fillings, he would pull them out. He would take the rings from their fingers, and after removing the precious stones, he would melt down the metal from the teeth and the rings into precious nuggets of pure gold and silver. And then he would bag the gems into little parcels of emeralds, sapphires, rubies, pearls, and diamonds. Now, greed has its own special method of destruction for those who harbor it. Josiah, who had amassed a fortune hidden in the vault in one corner of his embalming room basement, where he hoarded all his precious things, all valuables stolen from the dead. Yet there was one thing he wanted more than any other object he had stolen, and that object was a beautiful diamond stick pin. Now, a stick pin is a piece of jewelry that was very popular in those days. It consisted of a long, straight pin, which the wearer would use to carefully tack a tie to his shirt. People would often put something of great value to them on the heads of their stick pins, club emblems, or precious gemstones. One particular man, a Samuel Grimsby, put a beautiful blue diamond on the head of his stick pin. It was worth a fortune, and it was spectacular. Josiah Pilcher felt that he must have that diamond stick pin. Now, if Josiah were not the undertaker engaged to perform the funeral services for someone who owned something he wanted, he had another plan in mind. He would go to the funeral, and if the item was being buried in a casket with the person, he would go in the dark of night to the cemetery, and he would dig and rob that grave. People knew there was a grave robber working, but they could never catch him. Sometimes he would strike the next night. Sometimes he would wait 2 or 3 nights, but always while the moon was dark and the fog thick enough to cover his nefarious deeds. Samuel Grimsby had a suspicion about Josiah. So when the greedy undertaker approached him and offered his services when they were needed, the old man replied, "No, you'll never bury me. I know what you want. You'll never get me diamond stick pin." When Samuel Grimsby died, Josiah went to the funeral. And there, sure enough, in the coffin with the old man, was the beautiful diamond stick pin. He knew he couldn't take any chances. He must rob that grave that very night. He wanted that diamond stick pin. And the old man was being buried in one of the oldest cemeteries in the area. He didn't want the cemetery rats to get there before him. That night, in the swirling mist, Josiah went to the cemetery and started to dig. He had to work quickly. He had to remove all of the dirt from the coffin lid before he could open it. And his fortune awaited him. South America, where he would live like a king, awaited him. His servants, his mansion, his life of luxury awaited him. And he had to work fast. Finally, all the dirt was removed, and there was the coffin. He took his chisel and smashed the lock and opened the lid. But there was no body in it. Wait, there was a body up there, just a feet at the top of the coffin, being dragged into a tunnel before his very eyes. The cemetery rats had worked faster than he had expected. They must have been very near where the coffin was buried, and they could sense not alive, but a fresh human being very, very close to them. They had started a new feeder tunnel until they got to that coffin, and they gnawed through it with their razor-sharp teeth to get that human body. Well, they had the body, and they were dragging it into their main tunnel. Josiah jumped down into the coffin, and he grabbed the feet, trying to pull the body out so he could get that diamond stick pin. He heaved with all of his might, but the rats were powerful. They were dragging the body farther and farther in, and Josiah was being drawn into the tunnel. He had the corpse by the feet, and he was not giving up on that diamond stick pin. He reached higher and higher on the corpse, grabbing to the knees, grabbing up to the waist. He pulled himself up on that corpse with dirt falling down around him and frenzied rats on every side. The commotion of the cemetery rats grew and grew as they sensed a live human among them. They were being driven crazy with a bloodlust as they poured into the main tunnel from all sides. As Josiah reached, he could feel the rat's razor-sharp teeth lashing, gnashing on his fingers, or his back, or his legs. But he was not giving up on that diamond stick pin. Blinded by the dirt, with rats slashing at him from all sides, he reached higher and higher on that corpse until he had the diamond stick pin. He had it in his hand. He had the diamond stick pin. And he had to back out in a hurry. The rats were vicious. Their stench was worse than the corpses. Their bodies were slamming into him. In desperation, he hung on to the diamond stick pin as he backed into the feeder tunnel, but rats were slashing and gnashing him. The fear that now shot through him hurt much worse than the slashing of his skin. He had to save himself. He had to get out of there before they ate him alive.